So in this problem, we need to find out the value of the given trig expression. Let us begin. So here we have cosine of 20 degree multiplied to cosine of 40 degree times cosine of 60 degrees times cosine of 80 degrees. So what we'll do, we are going to multiply the entire expression with 2 times sine 20 degree. Now that's an extra factor that we're multiplying with, so we'll have to take care of it by dividing with 2 sine 20 degree. Now there's a reason why we are multiplying and dividing by 2 sine 20 degree, because now we have 1 over 2 times sine 20 degree. So what we'll do, we can combine 2 sine 20 degree with cosine 20 degree because there's a standard formula for this. So let's write down the remaining functions. We have cosine 40 degree times cosine 60 degrees times cosine 80 degrees. The formula that we will be using here is, we know that if we have 2 times sine theta times cosine theta, so that's actually sine of the multiple angle to theta, which means that we now have 1 over 2 times sine 20 degree. So this will get multiplied to, so 2 sine 20 times cosine 20 is nothing but sine of 2 times the angle 20 degree, which means we get sine 40 degree. Multiplied to the remaining functions, we have cosine 40 times cosine 60 times cosine 80 degrees. Now we have sine 40 multiplied to cosine 40. What we'll do, we'll multiply with 2, and 2 being an extra factor, so we'll again have to divide by 2 as well. So that's going to give us 1 over 4 times sine 20 degree. Now 2 sine 40 times cosine 40, so this is again, it's the same formula, 2 sine theta cosine theta, so that should become sine of 2 times 40 degree, so we are going to get sine 80 degree. Now what we'll do, this will be multiplied with cosine 60 times cosine 80. Now cosine 60, let's use the value, this has a standard value of 1/2 and multiply to it is cosine 80 degree. So let's rewrite everything. Now we have 1 over, so 4 times 2, that's going to be 8. We have 1 over 8 sine 20 degree multiplied to sine 80 degree times cosine 80 degrees. Now what we'll do, we'll multiply with a factor 2 and divide by 2 as well, such that we now get 1 over 16 times sine 20 degree, and then we have 2 times sine 80 times cosine 80, that will become sine of 2 times 80 degree, so that's 160 degrees. Now our goal will be to further simplify 160 degree. Now here 160 degree can be also expressed as 180 minus 20. So we had sine 180 degree minus 20 degree, which will be equals to sine, so 180 is nothing but 2 times 90 degrees, so it's an even multiple of 90 degree. Whenever we have an even multiple, sine stays as the sine function, but the new angle will be 20 degree. But this number 2 tells us that we are in the second quadrant where sine is positive, so we get positive sine 20 degree. So in place of sine 60, 160, we're going to replace with sine 20 degree divided by 16 times sine 20 degree. So sine 20 degree gets factored out from the numerator and the denominator. In the numerator we have 1, and in the denominator we're left with 16, and this is going to be the final value of the given trig expression.